Hello, and welcome to Empowering Your Time, Budget, and Resume. Oh, I'm Dr. Marcia Hardy, and I am here with co-presenters Dr. Carmella Parker and Dr. Beth Prejean. We are professors at Northwestern State University and are very pleased and proud to be able to offer this program to you for the Center for Positivity, Wellbeing, and Hope. We will begin our empowering presentation by discussing the topic of time management. I want to start out with a riddle. The riddle is this. Listen carefully to hear. I am free yet priceless. You can't own me, but you can use me. You can't keep me, but you can spend me. Once you've lost me, you can never have me back. What am I? This is one of the famous riddles that's related to time. It tells the story of time. So, time, it's free, but priceless. You can't own time, but you use it. You can't keep time, but you will be spending it. And once you lose time, you can never have it back. So that is one of the reasons why we've decided that it was so important for you all to hone in on this successful time management, because we know what active people you are and you have so many things on your plate to do, and we really would like to be able to assist you in being successful. So do you use your time well? We're going to begin with giving you an example of one excellent time management tool that has been found to work for everyone from a personal and a professional standpoint. It begins with what is called the to-do list. What I'd like for you to do is think about and spend a moment to write down anything and everything that's on your to-do list, your action list. These are the things I have to do in order to get through the day or the week list. So please take some time and write down anything. And that's going to be called your trigger list. The second thing that I'd like for you to do is to then take this trigger list that you have, your to-do list, and then organize your list. Do it in 2 minutes. So I want you to do some rapid fire thinking. It will assist you in really making some great decisions as to how to organize that list. So for example, you might have a bucket space in which you're talking about things that are personal. Another area in which you're going to be working the activities that you have associated with going to school. A third one might have to do with repairs and things that are associated with keeping your life running and being able to manage it. But do this in 2 minutes so that you've recognized all of the trigger list items are in one of those buckets that you've organized as your list. The next step that you want to take in this time management tool is to track your time. So when you've made this list and you've created the buckets in which you've put these items, you're then going to be able to begin to identify how much time you're going to need in order to accomplish or complete these tasks. This is very important because if in fact you find yourself extremely stressed and lots of work is always underway and you're multitasking, it's not uncommon for you to consider moving into a procrastination mode. Now, what does that mean? Procrastinators are those people who just they don't get to it. They don't get around to those things that are on their items. They have prioritized them, and yet they let them slip by. And research indicates that that might very well be because someone is afraid of failure. So if you don't do it at all, yes, you will fail, but they're also maybe afraid of success. If in fact they get to it and they try to succeed and they fail, then perhaps it was because they failed. And so people who are very success oriented may tend to do procrastination so that they don't have to, in fact, meet that task or tackle it. And that way they don't ever have to determine whether or not they're going to be successful. So please recognize that anything that's on your list that you have moved into the buckets and that you've prioritized, you will now track. You will not procrastinate because time is your most precious resource. You will do that item now, not next week, not tomorrow, not next month, or someday. You're going to be successful because you're tackling that prioritized item now. Once you've begun to realize you're moving forward, you just keep yourself going, you engage. And as you engage, you begin to prioritize or operationalize your plan. You put it into action. So for example, if you're going to be taking the test on Wednesday and you know you have to do it, and you really do want to be successful, but you know that if you don't study at all, you won't be successful. So maybe it won't challenge you or tackle you in terms of success. You've ignored it. You're going to put procrastination to the backside. You're going to make certain that you prioritize, you immediately go into action, and you identify the action steps that must be taken in order to successfully complete that task. And that would be now. So on a Sunday, you're going to set aside time between 10 and 12, for example, to study for this exam. On Monday, you're going to set aside some time in the afternoon, 2 to 4. And on Tuesday, you're going to be settling into be studying, let's say, between 5 and 9, so that when you walk in on Wednesday morning to take that exam at 9:30 a.m., you are prepared. You are ready to go. You did not procrastinate. You will, in fact, be successful because you spent the appropriate amount of time needed in order to meet the needs of successfully completing this task that's been prioritized on your to-do list. And lastly, I want you to sit back for a moment and review what it is that you have done. I want you to readjust it, renegotiate what might be on that list, and or in terms of timing in that week of activity, on that daily plan. Adjust your goals, your directions, your tasks, your prioritizations as needed. It's important to be able to reflect and review to make certain that you're meeting those goals that you set out, that you've done the action items that are required for you to be successful, and that you've moved things off of a priority list that shouldn't be there, that may perhaps have fallen down on that list in order for you to be able to reprioritize and put another item up at the top of that list that you need to tackle and attack this day, this now, with no procrastination. So please remember that when you're looking to be successful in time management, that you don't fool yourself, that you don't procrastinate, and that you do put your best foot forward by creating a plan and utilizing that plan, and prioritizing and making certain that you're using that time effectively each day, each week of each month in each year. And we're wishing you the very best on that.
Next, we'll have budgeting in the age of COVID. This is a very timely topic, as in most of our students have hourly paying jobs, and maybe some of the hours have been cut back. Um, Things have happened, different expenses have come up. So it's always important for us to talk about budgeting and maybe get back to some of the basics to help make it through this very turbulent time. When I said back to the basics, we want to look at how to budget. We want to look at how we can maximize our money. And as I tell my children, you want to get the most bang for your buck. But first, before you can do that, we need to understand how much money or bucks do we have at our disposal. So you want to review your income. You want to look at your pay stubs and look at how much money you have in your checking account statement as well as in your savings. Some of the students are on allowances from parents, and some are just simply working. So you want to review all of the monetary streams that you have coming into your checking account. You might want to take a look at how much money you may have had pre-pandemic and money that you have after the pandemic started, and that may be the same or it might be different. It might be a good different, or it may not be a difference that you were expecting, but you can still work with. The next thing you will want to do is examine your expenses. Many people were spending money on going out to eat and going to the movies, and that would be not necessarily your fixed expenses, but maybe your variable expenses, and you're noticing that you don't spend that money anymore. Some people are no longer going out as much as they used to. But before we look at those variable expenses in close detail, let's kind of go back to our fixed expenses. And those are the expenses that you must make every month, such as your rent, your car note, your insurance, your grocery bills, your utilities. You want to look at how much money is going out the door that must go out the door. So it's important to look at that and see if in fact you can maybe even save money on your fixed expenses. See if there's any coupons, if there's any applications such as, we just ran into one this morning, it's called Honey. You pull it down and they find additional savings for you for different items. Can you utilize those things of that nature? So we want to make sure that we look at as many opportunities to save money and the fixed expenses area. We also want to look at those variable expenses, such as, like I stated, going to the movies, going out to eat with friends, going to the coffee shop. And we know that's very important, but do we need to cut back based upon our maybe our income is a little different? And if it's the same, we still may want to look at it because we still want to be prepared for the next bucket of expenditures, which is to expect the unexpected. Have we put enough money back in case our fixed expenses, maybe our utility bill is going up because we know that we're approaching winter. Maybe the heating bill will go up. That's it, to expect the unexpected. We don't know how much it may go up over the winter, but we know that it's coming. And then after we expect the unexpected, we still need to save, save, save. And so some people have a 50, 20, 30 rule. And that 20% is, in fact, going towards your savings. So what is it that you're saving? Are you even thinking about saving? Some people are saving for their retirement account and or an emergency fund, and that could go into expect the unexpected as well. But we just want to make sure that we have the tools ready to go, which is our money ready to go in case of an emergency, or just that we want to put back for retiring. And it's not too early to think about retiring, even though you're in college. You want to take advantage of this time because the time value of money, the longer you have to save over that period of time, you'll save more. So if you start now, you'll have more in the future. The other important thing about the budget, and I know it sounds like, oh, she's saying pay the bills, pay the car note, pay everyone, but also pay yourself, treat yourself. We know it's important to basically have a moment where you do have a chance to let your hair down. And we definitely want to make sure that we are still doing self-care and making sure that we are taking good care of ourselves. And that's why it's so important for your well-being. That's empowering to also say it's okay to take care and be positive and have positivity and well-being, and even for your budget. If you're like, I have never seen a budget, I don't know what you're talking about, well, that's okay. We've provided some examples of budgets here, on ones at Mint, ones at consumer.gov, and ones at moneyunder30.com. And these are really powerful resources to begin the conversation of budgeting. You know, let's think about it, and remember, these are just tools that may not fit your needs right now, or it may, but whatever it is, you can still alter it to make sure that it meets your needs at this time. And as your hopefully your income increases, the more you can put back for savings, and also a little bit more to treat yourself with, not too much, in moderation, everything in moderation. So I will pass it on to Dr. Beth Prejean.
Hello. So now that you've accomplished getting your time in order and you've also got a budget, now we're ready to produce our resume so that we can keep that budget in line. So where do I start? Slide. You start with a basic name and your full name, your home address, a professional email. Now, what I mean by that is not, as you know, we've actually sent funny things to our friends and we've made up email addresses. This is not the time for that. Professional email. And if you don't have anything else, you can use that example at Gmail. So make sure that you answer it frequently. And if you've submitted an application, you want to make sure your voicemail is also professional. This is the time to just have your name. Thank you for calling. My name is, and this is how you can reach me. Thank you for your call, something like that. Next. Okay, so the career summary. The reason you put this is remember that you are sending your resume to a recruiter. So the only thing I really care about is, can you do my job? So when you are putting together a career summary, I don't need to know everything you've done. I need to know that you can do the job you're applying for. So it's just a summary or a very short thing about what you have done. So you need to start with why you're interested in this job. So if you're looking for a manager position, you want to talk about your management experience, and that may be in a group. If you're graduating senior, you may have been a manager of one of the fraternities or one of the, or a volunteer group or anything like that. But this is what you're looking for. Just a basic introduction as to why you're interested in this job that you're looking for, and you tailor each one differently for each job you apply for. Next. Okay, so what are soft skills? I'm just going to tell you that is the biggest thing from our employers that we work with. They ask what you have in soft skills. So that would be something you also may want to include in that career objective. And soft skills are things that are just, I'm a quick learner. So I have natural leadership abilities. I'm very organized. I'm accountable. I'm detail oriented, and I'm collaborative. So collaborative can mean that you are a team player. Next. There's also several links in here, by the way, about how to join Handshake, which is our career counseling, our resource for you at NSU. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. Okay, your work experience. So we just want basic things. But this can include internships, volunteer work. Many of you may not have a lot of work experience yet, and that's okay. So you're able to put anything that you did while you're in school. You can even add your projects that you did in school. So basic information is the names and dates, the locations of your employers, your dates of employment, and what your title was. And you put a very simple version of your duties and major accomplishments. And remember, you tailor all of this specifically to the job you're looking at, because that's really all I'm interested in, again, as a recruiter. So next. Okay, special skills. So many things, if you put your special skills, those are great things to have on your resume. If you are an expert in a certain type of computer area, or you have a minor in computer science or a minor in management or accounting or law, anything like that, you want to put that on there. So even one of those, a personal accomplishment that you paid your own way through college, that really says a lot about you. So these are, you're going to put, because you may not have a whole lot of job experience yet, you're going to enhance it with things like this. Next. Okay. Finally, there's also a resource page, but I would recommend that you contact our career services, Karen Loach. We have a career counselor here who's amazing, and feel free to contact any of us. I actually work on resumes a lot. My name is Elizabeth Prejean, and thank you very much. Do we have any questions or comments? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.